Okay, so a little bit of a summary. I find these summaries to be very important. You go over them, you just review them again and again, and they really become a part of you. They're simple things to do, even if they feel that it's not me, but you do them and you'll connect to them and you'll feel that it'll actually have a change in your life. It'll change you, make you closer to Hashem, make you a better person, and nothing's better than that. So, a summary is like this. So the Torah is very close to us, but we're not close to ourselves because we're not so close to our godly soul. So we learned about the animal soul. It's mostly bad traits, anger, ego, desires, laziness, sadness. Has a little bit of good, kindness, compassion, though the good that's in the animal soul is not associated with Hashem. So just put Hashem in the picture and you're good to go. And good actions that have bad intentions to them, intentions that are against the will of Hashem, need to be refrained from. And so that's Perek Aleph. Perek Beis, we learned that the godly soul is literally a part of Hashem. However, it went through a process of contraction and it went down many, many levels. And by the time it reached our body, it lost that, disconnected from the source, from the supernal wisdom of Hashem, which is the source of all of our souls. However, the souls of the tzaddikim didn't go through such a extreme breakdown process. So by connecting to tzaddikim, we could connect to the supernal wisdom of Hashem, which is bringing us pretty much back home, like a child going home. It's very empowering, very comforting. That's how we will feel by connecting to tzaddikim, by following the guidance of the tzaddikim. And then we contemplate on the greatness of Hashem, and we contemplate on how Hashem is recreating everything everywhere, and how the infinite light of Hashem is in everything everywhere, just not revealed, but it's there. And we do that, and it creates awe in being in the presence of Hashem, and love by being in the presence of Hashem. And we do it consistently in order for it to become genuine, for us to really to connect to it, and for it to become a part of us. And then we have the garments of the soul we learned about, where your intelligence is connecting to the Torah by thinking of the Torah. That's the first garment, is the thought. Then we have the speech and the action, which is the keeping of Torah and mitzvahs, whether it's learning Torah or saying Kriyat Shema or davening, or giving tzedakah, which is an action, or doing other action mitzvahs. We do them because we love Hashem and we want to make Hashem happy. We want to connect to Hashem because of our love towards Him. So we connect our love towards Hashem and we connect them to the mitzvahs by speaking Torah and doing mitzvahs. And then we refrain from them because of our awe of Hashem. So here we're taking that emotion of awe and connecting that to the mitzvahs too, or Torah, whether it's not learning Torah when you're not allowed, or not doing averos, refraining from averos because of your awe of Hashem. So now we're up to the second part of Perek Daled. There's actually another part, and that is the Tanya goes into a whole question thing over here. He asks, first of all, he says that the garments of the soul, because it's Torah and mitzvahs that we're speaking about over here, so the Torah and the mitzvahs are actually greater than the soul itself. The soul, how it exists in our body after the breakdown process, is on a lower level than the Torah and the mitzvahs. So he deep dives into what Torah and mitzvahs are, what is great about them. So Hashem and the Torah, it says, is one. So what's the Torah? The Torah is the will of Hashem and the wisdom of Hashem, which is very high levels. And Hashem is the essence of Hashem and the glory of Hashem, which is even higher than the will and the wisdom. However, it's being that Hashem and His Torah are one, so by connecting to the Torah, you're actually connecting to the glory and the essence of Hashem Himself. But it says in the pasuk that the greatness of Hashem is something that we can't grasp. It's out of our understanding. And it also says in the pasuk that the wisdom of Hashem we can't grasp either. It says, you can find the wisdom of Hashem. The understanding of Hashem. I don't know exactly how to translate that, but you could. It says in the Zohar, late machashava tfisa be, no thought could grasp Hashem. So how exactly are we taking our intelligence and connecting it to the Torah if we can't grasp the Torah, which is the will of Hashem, which we can't grasp, the greatness of Hashem, the wisdom of Hashem, we can't grasp any of this stuff. So what exactly are we doing over here? How are we doing this? How are we connecting the Torah and the mitzvahs to our intelligence and our love and fear if the Torah and the mitzvahs, the will of Hashem, the essence of Hashem, all these things are above our grasp, they're out of our reach. We can't grab them, we can't reach them. How exactly are we connecting to them? So the Tanya explains that in the place where you find Hashem's greatness, you find Hashem's humility. And Hashem contracted and broke down the Torah and brought it down to a level that we can understand. When it says that we can't understand Hashem's wisdom and Hashem's greatness and all that, it's referring to how it was before Hashem broke it down. It's in its original state, you can't understand it, you can't grasp it. But Hashem, in His greatness, with His humility, He actually contracted His greatness. He broke it down to a level that we can reach and we can grasp. And that is Torah and mitzvahs. So all those psukim are referring to before Hashem broke it down, so that we can grasp it. And after Hashem broke it down to Torah and mitzvahs, then that's it. We can grasp it. We can grab the will of Hashem, the wisdom of Hashem, the essence of Hashem. And therefore, that is why it says that it's more beautiful, it says in the Gemara, it says it's more beautiful a moment of tshuva and good deeds than the whole entire Olam Haba. Why? Because Olam Haba is the light that shines from Hashem. It comes off of Hashem. It's not Hashem Himself. But by connecting to the Torah and mitzvahs, you're actually connecting to Hashem Himself, which is on a much higher level, obviously. So when you're able to connect to Hashem Himself, or you can be in a shine in a light that's shining off from Hashem Himself, it's better to be in Hashem, connecting to Hashem Himself. And the Tanya finishes off one more last thing. He says that you might say that if Hashem contracted Himself so much and broke Himself down and did everything that He did to bring the Torah down to a level that we can connect to it, then it's like it doesn't have the same potency. It's not the same. Is it really still Hashem? I'm connecting to Hashem's essence after it was broken down so much. So he says, imagine a king, for whatever reason it is, he decides to wear 100 garments. He's very big, all those clothes on top of him. And he gives you a hug. Are you going to feel, because there's 100 garments over there, that I'm not getting hugged by the king? Of course not. So just because Hashem broke it down and covered it up and clarified it for us and made it something more covered up, you can say, doesn't mean that you're less connected to Hashem. Doesn't matter how many clothes Hashem is wearing, the king is wearing, someone you're hugging is wearing, you don't feel less of a hug in the winter than you do in the summer because there's less clothes. The clothes don't make a difference. So yeah, Baruch Hashem, we have the schus to connect to Hashem, to connect to the Torah of Hashem, to connect to the mitzvahs, which is the essence of Hashem and the will of Hashem. And obviously it's important that we contemplate on all these things, and with that we'll feel even closer to Hashem and feel closer to our godly soul and be able to do what it says. And with that, Be'ezrat Hashem, Mashiach will come, techef umiyad mamish.